China has withstood as the single largest source of foreign direct investments, or FDIs, in Pakistan during the recent decade. From 2010 to 2021, China has provided foreign investments worth over 6.1 billion US dollars, far more than any other nation with massive interest in the nation. Moreover, the two nations' bilateral trade has continuously increased ever since political and economic ties have started to intertwine. From 2006, it had a bilateral trade estimated to be around $3.5 billion, which grew to $9 billion by 2013 and exponentially increased to $27 billion by 2021. This has segmented Asia's largest economy to become Pakistan's most important economic and strategic ally. So how did China become Pakistan's largest economic ally? Before we move on, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe for more. The China-Pakistan bilateral relationship started way back in 1951 when the two nations established diplomatic-level relations. As the two nations are geographically close to each other, it is imperative to ensure that socio-political is not divided from one another, especially when during that time, world tensions were not so great. And also, between 1955 and 1963, the two nations' leaders went on to visit each other to have a conversation about necessary agreements. This resulted in boundary agreements, cultural cooperation, and even the start of an open country after Pakistan International Airlines became the first non-communist country to fly from Beijing. Eventually, the two nations' political interests would be stable and help pave the way for the opening of the Karakoram Highway, an infrastructure that linked northern Pakistan to western China. Fast forward to 2003 and 2005, a trade agreement and information technology deal would be signed, which further helped enable inclusion within the two countries. What would embark, however, as China and Pakistan became a large economic partnership is in 2013 when the two nations established the grand plan called China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC for short. This initiative brought a collection of infrastructures to be constructed, an estimate that is worth today over $62 billion. And since the establishment of CPEC, Pakistan has seen the construction and benefit of numerous economic generating projects, from energy and power schemes to transportation systems such as highways, rapid transit lines, ports, and airports. This even includes the advancement of technologies which are more evident in agriculture and aquaculture. The entrance of CPEC has definitely helped pave the way for the two nations to be closer to each other. This was further pushed by Pakistan's former Prime Minister, Imran Khan, who voiced the importance of CPEC as Pakistan's future. The other strategic embodiment that allowed the two nations to thrive is their strong military ties. China, since 1962, was a large source of military equipment for Pakistan. Furthermore, it was even Pakistan that bought over $5 billion worth of submarines, which became China's biggest arms sales ever in 2015. Unfortunately, these so-called special relationships are kind of met with strong criticism both locally and internationally. First of all, the large investments and loan agreements from China to Pakistan are termed by some as debt trap diplomacy, which is often expressed when China enters a nation's economy. This is evident within the voices in China-backed infrastructures. Furthermore, with the political upheaval that happened recently in Pakistan, which saw Imran Khan, then Prime Minister, to be ousted, may show a rocky road ahead. After all, it was his policies and political insights to align closer to China and stray away from the West. Moreover, despite bilateral trade being so big, which is valued at around $27.82 billion in 2021, it is actually a far imbalance. Exports to Pakistan from China totaled $24 billion, while imports from Pakistan was only $3.5 billion, which according to experts, because Chinese products are way cheaper. While this trade imbalance is still quite debatable, as cheaper products are sometimes seen by economists to be good for consumers. Regardless, the China-Pakistan socio-economic partnership has far deeper roots to be changed in just a small amount of time, whether it's due to a rocky leadership change or voices from the West, or even the trade imbalances. We think that China will still continue to have a large presence in the coming decades in Pakistan. After all, it was built on decades worth of political interactions, and especially knowing that the Chinese economy is still going strong, which is becoming very vital not just in Pakistan or Asia, but for the rest of the world.